trucking, and I'd say one of the biggest ones in particular is, how do I make money? A few that come to mind is, a lot of guys are trying to figure out how to get into the owner-op or the lease purchase game. Lease purchase is pretty straightforward. You just hire on with a trucking company who got a lease purchase program, and then wait a couple of months, and then they'll come seek you out. They'll sign you up, and in a lot of cases, some soon as you hire on, they'll put you in a truck. They'll put you in a truck right away. The owner-op game, little more difficult, in the sense that, hey, you got to save up. You got in some cases, about 20 grand, just to get a good start. A lot of guys can do it for less, but me, I'm not comfortable unless I got 20 grand saved up. That's when I'm comfortable. But the biggest problem is, where do I go to make the money? How do I make that money in trucking? A lot of guys, a lot of ideas are being thrown around, and one that I think is the most popular is, hey, go lease a truck on with a company, and try to make your money that way. But where a lot of guys fail at that is that a lot of cases, lease truck, it has a tremendous amount of overhead. To do it properly, you're gonna make, you'll make about $4,500 to $5,000 sometimes. Well, out of that $5,000, you got to take out, let's say, fuel and maintenance account, and taxes. Let's say the three biggest ones. You're paying your personal house bills out of that money also. What's left over is maybe, I don't know, about $1,500, maybe $2,000, or in some cases less than that. That's going to you yourself. We're gonna go over some of the things, I say the easiest ways to make money in trucking. These ways will help you save up to get you a truck to do the owner-op game or the lease purchase game, whichever one you like. Okay, the first one, I would say, just to cut to the chase, if you want to make money, really fast in trucking, I would say go to any food service company. I was, like MBM, Cisco, United Natural Foods, Tree of Life, places like that. Any place in food service where you gotta use a hand truck. If you get into the right situation with those companies, and it's not hard to do, you can be making, I say, between $1,600 and $2,000 a week with food service company. The next one is, I would say, car haulers, and just any car hauler company. I say make sure they're doing either new cars or the auction cars. The other one would be the moving business. And it's a lot of companies out there. You got United Van Lines, Mayflower, Beacons, Paul Arpin, just moving company in general. They make a good amount of money. And in some cases, you can do a lease purchase through a moving company. I say the only drawback to that is, you got to move several houses per month. That's one of the big drawbacks. Just real physical. Temp driver services, they're not very known. They're not very well known, and actually, it's looked down upon in the trucking industry to be on with a temp service. But I tell you what, I have made the most amount of money in trucking. As far as the company side go, I've made the most dealing with a temp driver service. And a lot of temp driver services, a lot of them really take care of their drivers. I say with the list of names, you got Staff Mark, you got Pro Drivers, Road Dog, Centerline, Optimum Logistics, I mean, the list goes on and on. Some of the drawbacks of driving for the temp service, like I said, I mean, they're looked down upon by the trucking industry, by the trucking companies. Um, you don't get any benefits, but I'm gonna show you how to kind of get around that. Another one of the drawbacks is that you have to always be prepared to you got to always be prepared to kind of move from company to company, pretty much as the temp service dictates. A lot of the positives is that they back their drivers up. Why? Because they don't have any trucks to deal with. They only have drivers. That's their biggest asset. So you're gonna find that temp driver services, they really go the extra mile for you. They'll do all the things that companies promise they'll do to you. You'll see that done at the temp driver services. Another positive thing is that say you just don't feel like working for that day. When they call up and assign you, a job, you can just tell them, look, man, I just don't feel like coming in today, and there won't be any negative repercussions or anything. You just take that day off and go the next day. Go on and start the next day. It's just that simple. They don't really trip out on that. All right, so you got the temp driver service. Say you go with the temp driver service, and you don't have any benefits, but here's a way to get benefits. What you want to do, you want to join the Teamsters Union. They are the best alternative. Teamsters benefits are second to none. What you want to do, you if you want to join the Teamsters Union and you need benefits, and I don't know nobody that don't need benefits. What you want to do is you join the Teamsters, and a lot of times you either get on the casual list or you want to get on the out of work list. And then what you want to do is you just wait for them to call you. You start out maybe working 1 or 2 days a week, and the reason being is that a lot of times the Teamsters local might have a ready set of drivers, like 20 drivers that they always call on. But just in case one of those guys call in, they don't want to work for the day, then what they'll do is they'll give you a call, and then you got to be there. I say they give you like 24 hours notice in a lot of cases, and you just go on out and you work maybe 10 or 12 hours or whatever, and then you're just going to collect your check at the end of the week. In the beginning, you're not going to make you're not going to make a tremendous amount of money with them. But the one thing you're going to do is you're going to get in that pipeline to where you can start collecting benefits by working with Teamsters. I say on the worst scale of their benefits is better than some of the best insurance that companies will offer you. So if you guys are going to go the temp driver route with no benefits intact, the best thing to do is just get with Teamsters, and then like I said, you can get on their benefits, that the Teamsters offer. And I mean, in addition, if you stay with them long enough, you can even go permanent with Teamsters, which is a pretty big deal. They cover everything from beer hauling to tankers to car haulers to freight, LTL freight. They cover everything. So just take a little list, and whatever Teamsters locals in your area, go apply for them. Generally, you just have to pay. I say in some cases you have to pay a $700 union fee up front, and maybe $15 a month until you get on permanent with them. Believe it or not, Teamsters pay very, very well when you do a week's work with them. They give you a lot of hours and a lot of overtime. I mean, there you have it, man. You got everything you need to save you some money to get into the owner-op or the lease purchase game. I urge you guys, if you're thinking about going into the owner-operator game, don't rush going into the owner-op game. Going into it with a little bit of money, it's just gonna destroy you in the long run, because you're gonna find, man, you go in there with a little bit of money, you're gonna be, you're gonna find yourself always begging for cash to keep your truck running, and you're just gonna see yourself you're gonna see it getting worse and worse as time goes on, to the point where you're just gonna have to give the truck up. So, guys, use these ideas, man. Save your cash up. Use these methods I just showed you, and then in the end, man, you're gonna make it in the owner op or the lease purchase game. And before you know it, hey, you'll be sitting up there with a small fleet or even a big fleet. It's totally up to you. This is Mike. I'll see you guys in the next video.
So I wish that I could stay before the thing could answer me. Well,